I'm not leaving until the end of the year. My goal is that we make sure that everything is in good place and for the next ambassador to come in. But it's a great day in the United States, and I'm proud to have been part of the team.
All right, as you've heard, Nikki Haley is leaving her post as our ambassador to the United Nations. She's been there about 2 years, which is about the shelf life, in fact, longer the shelf life for a lot of cabinet positions. So she's leaving on her own terms. Let the president know about this some months back. The president choosing today to make it all official. To read from Charlie Gasparino on all of this. At face value, you accept?
She's like 500 mooches, right? If you
do
something like that, if you were going to define it in Anthony Scaramucci.
He set the standard on the short end.
He was 10 days, so
10 hours it seemed, right? Yeah. But what do you make of all this?
You know, you need someone that understands how to read body language to figure out if she was, with all that hand motion, she was nervous or she was hiding something.
Who are we to judge hand motion?
Yeah, I know, because I'm always going like that. My guess is she just wanted out. She did 2 years. She did a pretty good job in 2 years, most people say. She's leaving at a time when you could say the administration, Donald Trump is doing a decent job lately. I mean, he hasn't had a fight with LeBron James in how long? Months or weeks, right? He hasn't really had a Twitter battle. He has laid off Rosenstein. He's focusing on the economy. He got through Kavanaugh. He seemed incredibly presidential in pushing through Kavanaugh. And I watched him last night. It was pretty moving, and I thought it was appropriate the way he apologized.
And by the way, despite all the talk about turnovers in the administration, it is dramatically slowed this year.
It's slowed. And, you know, everybody thought Kelly was going to leave. He hasn't left. I think he's got his groove. I mean, he's not.
And he's got his team.
Yeah, and if you notice, the crazies are kind of gone. There's no Scaramucci. I mean, Scaramucci was crazy from a sort of personal, you know, the aesthetical standpoint, but he's out. Bannon's not there. You don't hear much about what's the guy Miller, Stephen Miller anymore.
You know what I think changed too, and maybe the whole Kavanaugh nomination. I think you and I got into this one, Joe, that it united the old, you know, Republican statists, for lack of a better term, and the Trump revolutionaries, and they were united, joined at the hip at the mistreatment of Kavanaugh and what they felt was unfair treatment, period. And they're now singing from the same choir book.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. He's never going to get the never Trumps, the Bill Kristols and all them who are just, you know, you just hate him. But there were people that were sort of sometimes Trumpers, and, you know, that were kind of like straddling. You know, they're conservative. They deplore the left, the progressive left, and the insanity, the mob rule of that, which, by the way, carries on every day in college campuses. We just saw it front and center with Kavanaugh.
You're right.
And they kind of came back into the fold. Trump gave them something in return, acting normal for a period of time.
But, you know, there's another thing where his stubborn streak can work to his advantage. I was thinking of prior presidents. Would they have stood by their nominee when the first whiff of trouble came, let alone the heated accusations that came? I think a good many of them, I don't know all of them, but would say, you know what, I think it's a bum rap what you're getting, Judge, but
get out of Dodge. Yeah, that's what's great about Donald Trump. If he's for you, he's 100% for you. I don't have a problem, and I don't think you have a problem with his stubborn streak. It's the crazy town, and we don't have to relive the last 2 years because there were some really memorable.
Do you think he can contain the crazy town stuff?
He has been for the last 2 months, and you know, and now the Republicans have a shot at preventing a blue wave. They may have a shot.
What's the latest you're hearing on that?
All the Republican activists I talk to feel energized by this. If they don't think it's going to be quite a blue wave, it's still going to be hard to keep the House. But they do think
they do. I could be very wrong, and I'll burn this tape or whatever we call it now. But I think they hang on to that. They're going to lose seats, but they're not going to lose 23.
Well, if they hang on to that, you can thank Donald Trump and Kavanaugh, because that's what and the insanity. You know what was fascinating about this whole thing, Neil, is the insanity of the left. I mean, this isn't like Bill Clinton. This isn't really Joe Biden, JFK. These are dyed-in-the-wool progressive socialists who'll do anything to get their way, including destroy some guy based on very little evidence.
But a lot of them don't see it. You know, I watch all the news, not with all the business, you know, and you really do get a different view of the world depending on what you watch. And listening to them, they can make a cogent argument. Oh, this is going to really hurt Republicans, particularly with female voters, missing the fact that you and I are old enough to remember the Clarence Thomas hearings and certainly what followed the next year when so many women ran and won. I don't think this is analogous to that at all. And I'm not taking sides here. I just don't think that argument fits today.
Well, Anita Hill's charges were pretty stark, and she remembered everything.
Right, and they were only a few years prior.
Right.
So this, we're going back, again, whatever you think of this, we're going back almost 40 years.
Well, it was
night and day, and I just think that to hear them, it is, and the assumption that this monolithic group of females is going to vote one way misses the point.
Well, some women have sons, as
yes,
and they worry about, will some sort of charge that pops out of nowhere 35 years later affect my kid if he is in a position of semi-power, and plus the way it was carried out, the Avenatti nonsense.
Right.
I mean, and then just stuff just kept coming out that made no sense.
He might have handed the president this victory with his client.
Yeah, I mean,
you can make an argument for that.
I hate to break it to him. If you look at just on paper and what went down, Stormy Daniels was a lot more credible than this other woman that he was representing, just based on facts and what you know and common sense.
Well, what also hurt is the Democrats who rallied around all of these women, all three of these
they treat them all alike.
And there was a huge distinction between Dr. Ford and then Deborah Ramirez, then finally Ms. Swetnick. I mean, the fact that it is what it is. So I just find when consensus builds around something like that, be careful. What is your...
But you remember, the Democrats have structural advantages.
Absolutely, and I readily acknowledge that when I say this. So, like
just
I said,
on midterms,
burn this tape because I'll be wrong, but I'll dish it out if it turns out I'm right.